Hello again, I'm Raymond Chandler with Polaris Law Group, and this is my partner Scott Stork, and we're estate planning attorneys out of St. Charles, Missouri, St. Louis area. Continuing on with our 21 questions series. So again, this is a series of the 21 questions that we would ask an attorney if we were hiring someone to do our estate plan. So I want to make sure you're armed with that type of information. So again, make sure you subscribe and like the channel so you can get the notifications of when our next ones come out. This week, we're going to talk about the question of how do you stay up to date with the latest estate planning practices? So again, geared towards the attorney. How does the attorney stay up to date of the latest estate planning practices? So Scott, why is that important?
Yeah, so the importance of this is pretty striking, actually. So the one big thing is that the law changes, and probably more quickly than it has in the past. The laws are changing pretty rapidly. And so obviously as lawyers, we should be keeping up with the legal changes so that we can make sure that the plans that we create actually stay ahead of that curve. And probably even more rapidly than the laws changing are that the tools we use in estate planning change also. So as I said, we want to stay ahead of the curve, so we can't wait for the law itself to change. We really have to be looking in the future about where we think things are going to go so that we're able to add kind of responses to those changes as quickly as we possibly can. And frankly, our best practices and the experience we have as estate planning lawyers change also. And so as we see clients, as we talk to colleagues and things like that, we may need to change things in order to make sure that we're dealing with issues as they come up.
Yeah, so a lot of what Scott's talked about is experience, laws, and things that change. And so the way we keep up with those things is one, just through the numerous estate planning attorney associations that we're members of, getting education from them, getting feedback from them, getting our classes from them, our continuing education, things of that nature. And of course, just staying up with the changes in the law, seeing what Congress is screwing up this time around, things of that nature, just to make sure that we know what the latest legal changes are. You know, when it comes to best practices, that really comes from experience. And that comes from either being an attorney like we are, solely focused on estate planning in the estate planning world, seeing much more of those clients and having much more of those experiences, but also having a big network of colleagues. And that's what we really pride ourselves on, is having 40, 50 attorneys across the country that we talk to on a regular basis about all the type of estate planning things out there, which is more exciting for us than it sounds like. But there's a lot of colleagues that we have out there that we just bounce ideas off of, bounce experiences off of, listen to what they've experienced that year, listen to what their clients went through, things of that nature, to really stay on top of the best practices in terms of not just the legal changes, but when just life changes, or hey, we've seen stuff where it's we've done it this way for 20 years and now the financial institutions are causing an issue with that language, so let's change the language to this and then everybody's better off. Those type of changes that you can only get really from talking to other estate planning attorneys, because it's not a legal change. There wasn't a law that was passed. There wasn't a big change in the courts or the case law or anything like that. It was just a number of colleagues had that experience, a number of colleagues talked about it, and we were able to feed off that and now make that into our estate planning practices to make sure all of our clients are up to date with the latest and greatest estate planning practices. So that's really why it's very important to stay up for your attorney to stay up with the latest estate planning practices, laws, and tools and things of that nature. And so we want to make sure that when you're looking to hire an estate planning attorney, that you ask them that and make sure that they've kept up with it as well. So again, we're going to be continuing our series on the 21 questions we would ask. And next week, we're going to be asking about what type of education would you, the attorney, provide to me, the client, and also what type of education would you provide to our family as well. So that's going to be a very important question. So make sure you like, subscribe, and come back to the channel so you know when that comes up. So again, I'm Raymond Chandler with Polaris Law Group.
And I'm Scott Stork. Thanks for watching.